Hello, everybody. Welcome back to KhaiYaps podcast, and today we will be talking about stage versus candid, the illusion of authenticity online. Prior to the rise of social media, photography was primarily used to preserve memories captured on film cameras that required time, patience, and physical development. As digital photography gained popularity, early social networking sites such as MySpace 2003 and Facebook 2004 pioneered new ways to share personal images with a large audience. Unlike film photography, which was frequently shared in physical albums, digital photos could be uploaded, tagged, and captioned in minutes. MySpace in particular emphasized self-representation through profile pictures and curated image galleries, setting the stage for the visual-centric platforms to come. By the late 2000s, smartphones with built-in cameras further democratized photography. Suddenly, anyone could take high-quality photos without investing in expensive equipment. The iPhone's launch in 2007 marked a pivotal moment as it combined an increasingly capable camera with an instant sharing capabilities. This convergence of digital photography, editing apps, and social media enabled Instagram 2010 and later TikTok 2016 to turn visual storytelling into a performative act. Instagram's initial square format and filter options were designed to evoke nostalgia for Polaroid cameras while also providing a level of control that analog photography cannot match. Photos were no longer just about capturing a moment. They were also used to craft a narrative, convey a mood, or build a personal brand. Filters and editing tools that were once only available to professional photographers have become commonplace, blurring the distinction between staged and candid photography. Next, we'll be talking about personal experience and methods. I love capturing what happens around me to build a collection of these visuals for memories and aesthetic lifestyle vlogs. To explore the construction of visual narratives, I created a series of staged and candid images using both a digital camera and a smartphone. Sometimes my pictures involved different levels of preparation, from carefully controlling lighting and angles to simply snapping a moment without thought. In addition to photographing these moments, I've vlogged the entire process, documenting the setup and shooting to reveal the behind-the-scenes work involved. Stage shots required meticulous planning, including selecting aesthetically pleasing locations, adjusting camera settings, and editing photos to improve lighting and mood. For example, one minimalistic zoo shoot required me to arrive around 9 in the morning to secure the perfect outfit picture in natural lighting, arrange my friend's hair and outfit in a visually appealing composition, and take over 50 shots to capture the ideal casual zoo date look. Meanwhile, capturing candid shots meant staying in the moment, resisting the urge to curate and allowing imperfections to show. A genuinely spontaneous image of friends laughing during a hike with slightly unflattering angles and imperfect lighting conveyed an energy that staged photos often lacked. Vlogging added another layer, as I became more aware of how the act of recording influenced my behavior. Was I being myself or was I performing for the camera? Even when attempting to document authentic moments, I found myself subtly adjusting my actions and speech, knowing they were being recorded. The contrast between the finished products was stark. Staged images exuded control, depicting a polished and aspirational version of myself. Candid photos, on the other hand, revealed unfiltered realities. Expressions caught off guard, messy backdrops, and unedited flaws. However, the process of vlogging blurred the lines between the two, making even candid moments feel curated by the mere presence of the camera. Next up, we'll be talking about the topic, or rather the analysis of staged versus candid photography and vlogging. When I'm with my friends and family, I like to capture moments when they're not actively posing, aiming to preserve the aiming to preserve those genuine, unfiltered interactions. Looking back at these photos and videos, I started noticing patterns in how each medium conveys identity. Staged photos often present a polished version of reality, highlighting perfection, harmony, and visual appeal. The deliberate choices in lighting, posing, and captions all contribute to an image that fits social media standards of beauty and success. These curated posts typically draw more likes and engagement, reinforcing the notion that perfection is what people want to see. In contrast, candid photos and vlogs present an illusion of authenticity. Even though they may appear spontaneous, the framing and editing still influence how the moment is perceived. For instance, a candid laugh might be rehearsed, or an impromptu dance could take multiple takes. The irony lies in the fact that authenticity itself has become a commodity, a curated representation that appears unpolished but is still carefully chosen. I have a handful of candid photos taken by friends and family that, despite being unplanned, look so perfectly composed that they almost seem staged. It's a reminder that on social media, the line between what's genuinely spontaneous and what's intentionally crafted can easily blur. A moment captured without intention can still convey a certain aesthetic or mood that feels curated, making it difficult to distinguish what's authentically candid from what's artfully constructed. Vlogging, especially on TikTok, adds another dimension to this phenomenon. The platform rewards content that appears effortless. Yet, successful creators often spend hours planning, shooting, and editing short clips. The result is a form of staged candidness, a constructed glimpse into one's life that feels authentic precisely because it does not appear overly polished. The Day in My Life and Get Ready With Me formats exemplify this tension, as creators meticulously plan seemingly casual moments to appear relatable while maintaining aesthetic appeal. The unfiltered reality digital cameras versus social media cameras. Unlike social media cameras that come equipped with filters, beautification modes, and face-altering effects, digital cameras capture a more unfiltered version of reality. When using a digital camera, what you see through the lens is essentially what you get. While you can adjust the settings, like exposure, focus, and lighting, the camera itself does not inherently smooth skin, enlarge eyes, or slim faces the way smartphone cameras often do. This limitation creates a distinct contrast between images captured on digital cameras and those taken using social media apps. On apps like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, users can apply filters that automatically adjust facial features, blurring blemishes, brightening skin tones, or even reshaping facial contours. These alterations can dramatically change how a person appears, making it easy to construct a perfected version of oneself with minimal effort. With digital cameras, however, capturing a perfect shot requires more manual effort. Achieving a desired look involves adjusting angles, controlling lighting, and selecting flattering poses rather than relying on present filters. This process emphasizes photography as a skill rather than a quick fix, focusing on composition and technique rather than digital alteration. From experience, when I've met people in real life who I first encountered online, the differences in appearance are often stark. Online, they may use app filters that subtly or dramatically alter their facial features, creating an idealized version of themselves. But in person, there's no filter, just the reality that digital cameras capture more faithfully. This discrepancy underscores how digital cameras can serve as a baseline for authenticity, while social media cameras often function as tools for self-enhancement or self-distortion. Ultimately, while digital cameras do not offer the same instant gratification as app filters, they can reveal a more honest, unedited portrayal of a person, one that is less about perfection and more about presence. Social and personal implications. The search for authenticity on social media has resulted in a paradox in which even real content becomes performative. This pressure influences the way users, particularly young people, present themselves online. As platforms like TikTok and Instagram increasingly reward polished, visually appealing content, users may feel compelled to curate their reality, blurring the line between who they are and who they want to appear to be. Research has substantiated these concerns. A 2022 study in Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that 73% of young adults admitted to carefully staging seemingly candid photos, while 68% reported feeling anxiety about maintaining their online personas. Another study by the Royal Society for Public Health found that Instagram and TikTok rank as the most negative platforms for mental health, largely due to emphasis on idealized visual representation and the subsequent social comparison. The cognitive dissonance created by maintaining different versions of oneself online and offline can lead to what psychologists term identity fragmentation. When individuals consistently present curated versions of themselves that diverge from their lived reality, they may experience diminished self-concept, clarity, and increased psychological distress. The pressure to maintain these personas becomes particularly harmful when users begin to feel inadequate compared to their own curated images, creating a cycle where neither the online nor offline self feels authentic. The rise of apps like BeReal, which encourages users to capture a candid moment simultaneously with friends at random times throughout the day, highlights a growing desire for genuineness. BeReal's popularity suggests a cultural fatigue with performative content as users seek more authentic connections. However, even with this attempt to reclaim authenticity can feel contrived, as users still choose how to frame their reality within the given 2-minute window. Some users admit to delaying their posts until they're doing something post-worthy, undermining the app's intended spontaneity. Ultimately, the digital camera, whether in a phone or a DSLR, remains a tool for storytelling, and the story we choose to tell often reflects more about our aspirations than our actual lives. As social media continues to evolve, the tension between authenticity and curation will likely remain at its core, challenging users to find meaningful ways to represent themselves in digital spaces without losing sight of their multi-dimensional, imperfect humanity. In the end, the line between authenticity and artifice may be as blurred as the lens through which we see ourselves. And maybe that's okay. After all, every image is a story, every vlog a narrative, and every story is a choice. It's not just about what we capture, but how we frame it, the edits we make, and the angles we choose. Maybe the real question isn't whether it's staged or candid, but what we're trying to say and who we're trying to be in that fleeting moment we decide to hit share. Perhaps the most authentic approach is acknowledging the inherent performance in all forms of self-representation, whether digital or physical. By recognizing that our online personas are neither completely fabricated nor authentic, we can engage with social media more mindfully, appreciating its creative potential while maintaining a healthy distance from its more harmful aspects. In a world where cameras are ever present, learning to navigate the spectrum between staged and candid photography might be less about finding absolute authenticity and more about finding comfort in the beautiful complexity of how we choose to be seen. Thank you everyone for listening to my podcast, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night. KhaiYaps signing out. Bye bye. Mwah.